Hi, my name is Jatsi McDaniel Cruz, and the most important political challenge in Texas is the environment. Our environment faces detrimental effects affecting everyone and everything, especially in Texas. Climate change affects many Texans, especially those of lower socioeconomic status. To this day, the issue is polarized in Texas government, especially in terms of its validity. Evidence from NASA's Global Climate Change Department are just examples that prove it. The planet's average surface temp has risen 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the 19th century, driven largely by carbon dioxide emissions directly from human activities. The last 7 years are the warmest ever recorded. Global ice sheets have lost a total of 427 billion tons of ice per year, causing a rise in sea level that especially affects the coastal regions of Texas. Lastly, the ocean has warmed more than 0.6 degrees Fahrenheit since 1969. Texas has several pressing issues. However, the environment is unequivocally the most serious. It affects everyone, no matter race, gender, sexual orientation, class, religion, or political party. Texas is extremely vulnerable to the impacts of climate change and the extreme weather events that are created. We have experienced so many already, such as droughts. Droughts create water shortages, crop failures, and it decreases the water quality. Texas has repeatedly had droughts affect all over the state, and we're currently facing our worst drought since 2011. It especially affects Texas agriculture that depends on watersheds, rivers, and precipitation to feed the state. In this graph, you can see the growing spikes that occur every year, and in this one, how a good portion of Texas was registered as a D4 exceptional drought area this past summer. This is not normal. We have also experienced increasing day and night temperatures that create heat waves year-round and a poor air quality which becomes a health hazard. In the last 45 years, we have seen a 0.43 through 0.84 degrees Fahrenheit increase in temperature throughout all the state, and the average summer temperature is only predicted to grow at this rate. The rising temperatures have been affecting Texas air quality, especially creating smog and air pollution, especially in metropolitan cities. This becomes a hazard to everyone, especially people with health issues such as asthma. Lastly, changing weather patterns creates intense hurricanes which brings heavier floods and extreme weather events that Texas is unprepared for, like the 2021 freeze. The last major hurricane, Hurricane Harvey, in 2017, has been studied and determined to have been such a disastrous event due to human-induced changes that created extreme precipitation and flooding. And this year, the Dallas-Fort Worth area received the second highest official 24-hour precipitation that has ever been recorded in North Texas, creating dangerous flooding throughout the area. Lastly, the February 2021 freeze severely affected all of Texas with freezing temperatures and a failed energy grid. Hundreds of people died due to Texas being unprepared for climate change's extreme events, and that will only continue to exacerbate. Texas has been run by the GOP since the 1990s, and environmental issues are a polarized issue with the right unwilling to act. Most Republicans feel the government should not be doing anything, and several believe climate change is not due to human activity and are just Earth's natural patterns, and many believe climate policy will hurt the economy and make no difference on the environment. Lastly, many also do not agree with expanding towards greener energy sources, and rather they want to stick with fossil fuel energy. A solution for these pressing environmental concerns is for Texas to support the Green New Deal. It was formulated by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ed Markey. The Green New Deal is a job and justice centered plan in line with scientific consensus and the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. It focuses on achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions, creating millions of high-wage jobs, and ensuring prosperity and economic security, ensuring clean air and water, healthy food, access to nature, and a sustainable environment for all, investing in the American infrastructure industry to meet the needs of the 21st century, and creating a just and equitable social economic system that cares for our frontline and vulnerable communities. However, like any plan or policy, criticism ensues. For the Green New Deal, much concern on economic distribution would occur, like job terminations and layoffs, state and country debt, and increased taxes. Additionally, many people may be flat out resistant towards change in novel policies as it may alter life for oil and gas, large corporations, and agriculture. My response for these criticisms would be that wind, water, and solar energy systems that the Green New Deal advocates for would be expensive like any other system, but it would cost $9.5 trillion, and that cost would be spread throughout years, and some of it will even get paid through electricity sales. Additionally, it uses only half the energy of the fossil fuel systems that we use now. It also creates health and climate costs, which would lower 62,000 air pollution deaths per year that we see because of coal power plants and transportation pollution. That will save taxpayers $60 billion a year as it will lower healthcare costs. And moreover, U.S. consumers will only pay $1 trillion per year in energy costs versus the total of $5.9 trillion the fossil fuel system currently pays. And overall, a wind, water, solar system costs 1/6 compared to a fossil fuel system, thus reducing costs long term. Additionally, the Green New Deal will be committed to renewable energy by 2030, which will create up to 20 million green center jobs for once displaced from fossil fuel energy. Lastly, the Green New Deal would not harm the economy or impose on the average American, since it could be funded in three ways. One, by cutting the nation's $934 billion defense budget by 50%, charging $60 per ton of carbon, which will generate $360 billion per year, and have more progressive taxation on the super wealthy, which will create $130 billion annually. Now, Alexander's question. I will always believe that environmental protection is the most pressing issue, not just for Texas but the world as well. However, scientific information stated that the Green New Deal is not the best route for all communities or is not a feasible reality, my opinion would change. As well, if scientific data were to state that climate change and its effects were not real, my opinion would also change. The Green New Deal did not advance past the Senate. However, the plans and goals put the U.S. on a path to decarbonization for a greener future. The Green New Deal will be beneficial for everybody, all of Texas, the U.S., and the world. Because of that, I believe that the Texas should take up a part of the Green New Deal or make their own legislation like that. Concludingly, because of Earth's global warming and the increase of severe weather events, acting investing now would be the fiscally and morally right option. If Texas and the United States wait any longer, the Earth will be past the point of return, and the economic and social impacts would be substantially worse. And here's a picture of my works cited that I used throughout my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening.